Hello all and welcome to another episode. In this one we'll be discussing a video by a person. I'm just going to name it person before we get into any of this. Yes, you know where this is going now, of a person named Dakota, and I'm just going to do a bit of a review to their video, and it seems very brash and harsh and what I've noticed with a lot of these people that go on about gender, yes, you guessed right, it's gender because I said person, like, oh, my preferred pronouns. I mean, it shouldn't even really, my view is that it shouldn't really be something that we should hold so tightly to. I have a friend who just recently got out of this whole gender fluidity thing, and he said, honestly, it was a waste of time. I feel like a fucking idiot for continuing that stupidity. And a lot of people have phases in life where they are stupid and edgy and weird, and they come out of it, I guess, somewhat reborn. So what I'm trying to do here is really explain to you in this video what I feel and how I would respond to him, possibly in reality in front of his face. I probably wouldn't even care if he cried in front of me. But anyways, let's bring this up. Yeah, so it's Dakota Hendrix. Is that his channel? Or their... whatever? I'm a vegetarian, I'm queer, non-black. Yeah, it probably is. And it says, ask a gender terrorist, which is quite alarming because, I mean, terrorist is under the, you have a, there's a notion that they're gonna, use fascism as a tools to basically push their agenda, and not the leftist, meaning of fascism, the actual meaning of fascism, where you use your, fascism using, for example, the UC Berkeley riots. They say fascists go away, whilst forcibly declining a person of their free speech rights, their First and Second Amendments, and with fascism also entails that also this comes into Second Amendment because it renders them powerless. For example, taking guns away. I personally believe that if you're going to go to if Milo, you are going to go to somewhere to speak. Go to somewhere with a lot of guns where you can actually bring a gun in, preferably if that's possible. Not sure if it is, or if that's very rare and you suddenly score like an awesome gig in that. But anyways, I'm going to start playing this video.
Hey y'all, it's Dakota, and this is the newest video on my Ask a Gender Terrorist playlist on my channel. I'm updating all of my playlists because I haven't been able to post anything in a long time. If you would like to know why, check out my Ask Dakota Life Update coming out video.
Maybe not. Maybe you shouldn't name it Ask a Gender Terrorist, unless there's some kind of a meaning behind it, other than, I'm an actual terrorist and the whole fucking gender no, that's fucking weird. Stop.
And we can talk there, you'll find out. So, anyway, this video is something that I have consistently said in my everyday life, and I feel like maybe I need to reiterate and maybe I just want to make a video that I can link people to when I'm just like dragging them through the mud and I'm tired of their shit. So,
wait, who that you're dragging through the mud and what? Okay.
Pronouns are not preferred. They're not a preference. They are mandatory for interaction with me.
Okay, so if they're mandatory for an interaction with you, you're actually diminishing the amount of interaction that you receive. And interaction with you could be anything. I could approach you in the street. I didn't even know who you were. I could approach you in the street and ask for the time. And if I said thanks, dude, or thanks, man, or thanks, and you got all hissy with pronouns, I wouldn't be able to control that because I don't know you. And I'm not going to be policed in that language spectrum because that's what I do, and I don't get any backlash. In fact, I get a thumbs up. And the thing that with men, I don't know if you know about, at least where I live, is that there is a bit of like a bro culture, and that bro culture surrounds cheers, bro. And you kind of give like the little kind of like you wiggle the phone symbol kind of thing. You know how people go call me in like the US, we kind of go yeah, yeah brah, the yeah brah sign, and that's our culture. We say cheers, bro. You can even say it to a female. It's just, I guess, in some language cultures, it's a neutral word. And anyways, I'm gonna roll the clip.
I do not expect everyone in the world to understand my identity.
Well, then why is it a requirement to interact with you? I mean, if I knew you and I knew that you were saying this and it was, a requirement, personally, I like, if for example, personally, I actually wanted to talk to you, imagine if I actually found a quality that I like with you, if we had a like about this particular game, I'll only talk to you about that, but I'll probably use your pronoun then, because I'd want to extract some information, or actually exchange some information. So basically, but on the other hand, generally I wouldn't want to personally. And if I did, how would I be able to approach that said situation on a unique basis? It's a little bit. You're being very restrictive of who can talk to you. You're going to be quite lonely.
I barely understand my identity myself. You don't have to...
Wait, whoa. Okay, so you want other people to identify you, okay, before they talk to you, but you don't even know what you want yourself to be identified as. That's really restricting your fucking, scope of friendship here, bud. I mean, props to you if you do have friends. I'm not going to doubt that. You're pretty edgy and everything with your tattoos, and there's a bit of a culture with that as well. And people kind of like say sick tats, man, and you kind of compare and you talk about it. And you kind of say this is the bird and it's flying. And it's what like my mom is now or something or some bullshit. And yeah, I've talked to people like that. I don't have any ink, but like I understand said culture. But yeah, you're really restricting your circle of interaction.
Understand someone to respect them or their wishes. So I don't have to understand what it is to be a black person to speak respectfully to black people.
No, this is how you speak respectfully to black people. You talk to them like any other person. You talk to them as if I came up to you on the streets, which I do. I don't treat black people any differently. I don't dislike black people. I don't dislike white people. I don't dislike blah, 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 blah. I'm not, however, going to talk to you any different as I would to any other white person. However, I would talk to a black person more of like a, hey bro, what's up, if he was my friend, which I do have black friends. And if I were to, talk to a black person on the street or a white person on the street, I'd treat them differently. You treat people on who you know. You treat people on who you know and how you interact. So let's keep rolling.
I'm pretty sure that you can do the same for trans people, specifically non-binary people.
No, this is what I can do. This is what I can do for trans people and non-binary people. If I didn't know them very well, if I just met them, guaranteed, I'd say, hey, what's up? Well, I would treat them the same. Okay, I've got no room and I've got no knowing for, because some people may be trans and I might not even know it. I never even knew that my friend, one of my friends, was gender fluid, because you look at him and he just looks like an ordinary bloke. This bloke on the screen here is definitely not ordinary looking. I've got no idea what that fucking paperclip through is. Oh yeah, it's the safety pin bloody thing that is fucking retarded. That's for another time to debunk, but he's got makeup and he's got a beard. It doesn't. It's a little bit weird, and then he's hairy, and he's got like he's great at his, like he's good at his makeup and everything around the eyes. I mean that props to him. I don't know much about makeup, but it looks fairly good around the eyes. But you see, you wouldn't know. Some people just do this for art. Some people just do this for expression. But then they're straight white male, and they identify as straight white male. Basically, what I want to do, what I would like to do, is teach people, hopefully help people to not think so much about their gender or their pronoun to get along in life. It shouldn't be a, this is my first point, or this is my overall point about how I am as a person. No, what you are as a person should be based on merit, what you can do, or like what you work as, or where you've been. Like if you're a traveller, that's more down to earth and more explaining. It explains more about yourself than, oh, I'm actually like a fucking dragon or some shit. No, it explains a lot more. It's a lot more in depth. It's a lot more, down to earth, realistic. So, anyways,
we are not new. We are not trendy. We are not interesting or something that you can fetishize or.
Believe me, mate. I wouldn't fetishize you. I wouldn't put that past anybody else, okay? And, the whole new and trendy and everything, it's like, yes, the whole transgenderism thing, like how it is today, which is this monstrosity, I call it the snowflake culture, is actually quite new. And, it's only been, like, say, 5-6 years in the making, and has only really come out the woodwork in the media or in under the full spotlight for around about 3-4 years, and the reason for that is that a lot of legislation has passed. As soon as some legislation is passed, that's when people are get a little bit more serious than that, because for example, Trump's whole wall thing, it's something that he wants to pass through office, and then people are like, oh no, it's so bad and racist, which is bullshit. But Obama and I think Bush were also pushing for this. Obama was actually pushing for a more secure border, but failed. And a lot of other people around the world were pushing for a bigger border. And as soon as a politician or anybody talks about it, that's when it brings them to spotlight. To me, that's a little bit annoying, but also kind of makes sense, because it's more the demographic who watches the mainstream media, and not for criticism, for actual information. They're the kind of dumb fucks that usually kind of see looming around saying Trump's an idiot. Trans, I like to call genuinely transgendered people will go for the sex change. They'll chop a bit of knob off. They'll do some more than just kind of running around whining and complaining. And in this sphere, in the whole transgender sphere and culture, there is actually it's like a competition of who can be the most oppressed, or the most edgy, or the most weird, or people can go, oh cool, that's so cool, and they're so focused on it that actually takes up their life. It's saddening. It is actually quite saddening. Hence why I want to help them, and how I help them is say, go see a psych, go get help professionally, okay? Or I could try to talk to them, or I can say, let go, find a hobby, find a career, find this, find that. This is what Marxists like, because Marxists generally don't have that much that well in career, like that big of career aspects. I'm saying generally, some do, most don't really. So the whole trender. So with a genuine transgender, yeah, they do like actual proper things to get there. A trender would be the people sitting in the group saying how unique or weird can we be. It's a trend. It is obviously a trend, and you come across a person that's looking to put in a trend. And so if you generally have this problem, please go seek help. And let's continue the video.
Or try to just fucking sum up. It's just off. Just shut the fuck up. Just stop. We're not, like, so hard and difficult, and inconvenient. Like.
Okay, so point number 1. You make it extremely hard for us to understand what you want. You don't even know what you want yourself. That is extremely difficult. Okay, that one point says that you're difficult. And don't tell me to shut the fuck up. Okay, if you say shut the fuck up to me, I'm going to walk away. I'm going to walk away and not talk to you. Because I'll find you annoying. I'll probably call you a cunt. I'll probably call you a prick. Or any of those things. But I will walk away. Because you are too difficult to deal with. That is something most people will do that. Trust me. And some people who are insane enough will probably punch you in the face. I'm not saying that I would do it. I'm not going to advocate that. In fact, I would say that people shouldn't punch you in the face for you telling them to shut the fuck up. Okay? But some people have different people have motives. And some crazy person could really harm you one day. And I would dread the day to see that. But I'm just saying this, first of all, that you should probably change your manner. Anyways.
Like, imagine what it is to be me, and then you want to tell me how hard it is for you to understand me and my pronouns. Like.
Okay, if I were you, I'd listen to criticism. First of all, A. B, I would see basically an action to a cause to effect. Okay, so basically what I did to outcome. And what you do to outcome, okay, if it's causing this much of a problem for you to actually make this that video, okay, you're clearly not analysing the correct for a correct solution, okay. And a lot of people do need to learn to calm down. I know it could be difficult for you, okay, but this will become apparent as you get older. I believe that you could still probably be quite young. But you're most likely probably younger than me. Anyways, let's roll the clip.
In what way do you think that's helping? In what way do you think that that's fucking appropriate? Stop prioritizing your comfort as a cis person over the struggles and the respect and the wishes of trans people.
Okay, yet again, trans people. Most trans people found it actually very, a lot of most actual trans people who have been diagnosed with this. I'm not talking about transgenders, I'm talking about actual transgender people. They feel it very infantilizing when we're like, oh, okay, you're actually a woman now. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Let me tread on eggshells a little bit more. Let me crunch them. Oh my god. No, they don't want that. That's respect. Respect is given not by an order. Okay, respect is given where I treat you as a person that has the same value as another person to me. Okay? So if I went up to you and I said, fuck off with your gay bullshit, just randomly off the street and I didn't even know you, yeah, that's disrespectful. But if I said, hey, you got the time? That's not disrespectful. I'm going to say that to you and to a black person, businessman with a suitcase, a homeless person with a watch. I'll be like, hello, have you got the time? Thank you so much. And, well, you know, I'll probably give the homeless person some money as well. And a bit more for giving me the time. Because of their current situation, you can clearly analyse their situation. With you, I'm not sure. I look at you and I think, I don't know. Okay? But now what you're saying is becoming apparent to me that you have serious mental problems and you need to evaluate them and get that treated. Me myself, if I were you, I would probably, I don't know what kind of job you have, or if you do have a job. I mean, look, you actually have a pretty cool place. I mean, I dig the shit out of those candles in the background. I dig the shit out of the fucking Echo, Charlie Bravo, Delta Lima, November thing in the background. I dig your shells. Your furniture is better than mine. I dig all the jars of... Actually, that's questionable. The jars. That's questionable what's in them. But anyways, ad hominems. I'm sorry. What I would do if you... is see what's causing, like, you know, what are you unhappy with? If this identity is all that you're having problems with, change your look. I know it sounds wrong for me to say conform, but that's just how nature is. That's just how most people are going to be. Okay, and you can open up a conversation with people and be normal, and as you say, actually, I have to bring this up before we talk any further, but I am blah blah blah, and be kind about it, not about, you know, your edgy, oh fuck off, you don't know me kind of manner. It's not going to help you. Really, it's not going to help you in the future. I mean, imagine if I came up to help you and asked you for the time, and you said, tell me to piss off. I opened a company, you applied to work for me, and I could say, you are so rude, go away, piss off. And no, it's not because you're transgender, it's because you told me to fuck off. Anyways.
You're wrong, so shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, I'm just wrong now. I'm just wrong. Fling the word up in the air. Wrong. Da, 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 da. Drum roll. Burst into flames. Yeah, and then just shut the fuck up, because you obviously don't know what you're talking about. I do know what I'm talking about. I have experience in the real world, and I have experience in thinking in a different dynamic. Years ago, when I was a very young teenager or a kid, when I feel as if nobody really understood me, and I was very, very different, and I may have been, and I honestly believe, like, when I was a kid, that I was so different, I thought I was an alien. I was just like, am I an alien? Oh, I don't. But then, you know, I grew up, and it became apparent to me. Sorry, I've got a bit of something on the chest. Anyways.
We don't want to hear about how difficult being around us and knowing us is. It's not going to help, so stop.
It is actually going to help, because then you're going to be alone with nobody, and you want to hear what's wrong. Eventually, you want to hear it, but no, you're just rejecting everything that people are saying to you, and you're not going to know. You're going to be in a New York apartment somewhere, eating, you know, some shoveled fucking measling can of beans from the top shelf from the local derelict supermarket, poor as shit, nobody to help you, nobody to talk to, and you wonder why people wouldn't want to talk to you. Yeah, maybe you need to hear this. You need to hear this for your own good, mate. Anyways.
Okay, with that being said, change your language. Like, no one is female-bodied, no one is born a girl.
No, but they are. We're not going to change our language to suit your world. You are an individual. You are the minority that want us, the majority, to conform to the minority. No, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to do that for you. Nobody's going to do that for you. Grow up.
No one is any of that. Like, we are assigned genders at birth by doctors who look at us and see certain types of genitalia and decide what our identity will be from there on out. No. Okay. You as an individual can assign your identity, but your identity doesn't have to be solely related to gender. I say, okay, hello, I am Badger. I am a YouTuber. I am a gamer. I work in blah 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 blah. Okay. I identify myself as something unique. I identify myself as something that I do. Not like, hello, I'm Badger. I'm a straight white male. You could probably just tell from my voice that I'm a straight white male. Done deal. And, you know, what you're born with the genitalia, that's your sex, that's your gender. It's not, it can't actually technically be fluid. Because that's what you're assigned by nature. That's who you are. And if you don't feel that, then you have a mental condition, which you need to go to a psych for. I'm sorry, but you know, it's not a stigma that I'm trying to place. It's a help. It's a mechanism. So then, if everybody in the transgender world got help and could actually
become fixed, like, or become less, like, you know, aware, or less, you know, dependent on their identity in such a useless manner, which I believe is actually quite, you know, racist. So, no, what the fuck am I saying? Racist? Somewhat sexist. I mean, you know, like, you really, you know, you say, I'm not this, I feel this way, and therefore this sex, I don't want to be labelled as this sex, because, blah, that sex, blah, doesn't identify to me. Yeah, I mean, technically that can be. Not 100% sure yet, but you do need help. You very, very much do need help. Sorry I'm blathering on about this at the moment. I'm fairly tipsy and actually quite tired at the moment, so let's go.
Act of violence, that should be stopped. That's not
Whoa, did you say there's an act of violence? Hang on, let me just go back here.
their identity will be from there on out. That's an act of violence.
No, it's not an act of violence. An act of violence is punching somebody. If I punch somebody, that's an act of violence. An act of violence isn't calling you names. An act of violence isn't saying something that you aren't. That's not an act of violence. An act of violence is a physical thing. It's a physical and a premeditated motion. It's an it's a, I wouldn't say activity, that makes it sound so light. So violent activity, yay, punch the fat kid because he looks funny and he eats too many muffins. No. It's definitely not violence, just for any degree of however you define it, for any definition, it's not violence. Anyways.
That should be stopped. That's not my fucking fault that happened, and I'm not here to be faulted because I'm living outside of that. So
okay, but it is your fault to taking this much of a response to it. Something that should actually be very small, and something that should be like, okay, he doesn't understand, or something that is understandable. This is your fault for getting too wound up about it. It is your fault.
maybe you need to take a step back and like learn a few things about other people whose experiences are different than you. Maybe.
Okay, maybe if I saw like a homeless person on the road, on the streets, yes, I think when I look at a homeless person on the street, I think, is he there due to alcohol and drugs? You know, most homeless people are homeless due to their own, due to what they did to themselves, and then they sober up and they're like, oh shit, why am I here? I'm sober now. Holy fuck, what have I done to myself? And then they're stuck in a rut. Okay, but they've nevertheless done that to themselves. Or maybe it's alimony, which is still quite a bit of homeless people, or like, child support, things like that. And, things like, they lived a great job, or like, they just dipped into depression and completely stopped. And, it's really sad to see either way. It's sad to see them in that position. I help them as much as possible. I do. And it's just that with transgender people, that's a lot more different, because you can't tell from the outside. Okay, but if I'd known you, yes, it is a different story, but it doesn't quite match up to how I should treat you, because you do come off very, very brash. You do come off like relating back to the very first point of you, well, not very first point, but like a few points after, about you decreasing the circle of your interaction, okay, in the first place. And in the second place, when people know you, yes, it is hard to deal with that fucking mentality all the time. It definitely is. Trust me. Anyways. Fuck.
You could do that. Also, like, I don't identify as non-binary. I am non-binary.
That's not a thing. That's not a real... yeah, you can identify as non-binary. It's a mental condition. And there's no such thing as non-binary. And people say, well, what about intersex? It's like, no, but then they have both male and female parts. That's off the binary. That's off the 1 and 0. That's off the 1 and 0. And if you're both the 1 and the 0, it doesn't mean 2, because 1s and 0s as binary can only ever be 1 and 0 if you learn basics of, like even look at the very basics of, I learned the whole binary thing of, computing, looking at IP addresses and, every 8 bits and, networks and clients and everything, 1s and 0s change from 0-1 to 1-0, or 0-0 to 0-1, then 1-0. They're still binary. It's still that. You're still within the binary. Out of the binary will be like 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 million or something. Well, 10 million will still be technically binary because you have 1, 0, 0, 0, but you can have multiple female parts. You'd just be a walking vagina by then. But, basically, I'm just making a joke, don't worry. But yeah, binary is very much either or the other. It doesn't put into account the other ones. And if you think that you're outside that, I'm sorry. Human science as a whole states that it's only binary. You can only be within the binary. Sorry.
A trans woman doesn't identify as a woman. A trans woman is a fucking woman, okay?
Okay, actually, what they are is dependent on their sex. What they feel that they are is dependent, between men and women within the binary is dependent on their self-identifying gender. Basically, gender and sex aren't disconnected, they're mutually exclusive. They're mutually exclusive to a point where it's actually easily tested and identifiable. There is an actual medical procedure for this. If you feel like you need to go for the medical procedure, they'll probably just slap you in a crazy bin, to be honest. But yeah, do whatever in that field.
So, you need to quit with the language that is very just kind of covertly judging us or putting that little bit of disbelief there. We are not liars. We are not predators. We are not in costumes. We are not dressing up to fool people. We are not trying to be interesting, special fucking snowflakes.
Hang on.
This is who we are. Non-binary.
Okay, so basically, who you are is actually determined on your merit. Who you are is determined on what your actual personal traits are. If your trait is I don't believe in men and women, you're who you are is mentally disturbed. So, I get it. A lot of this whole we thing, who's we, because what you're describing as we is a very, very big branch of transgenderism, where you would state that we're not just dressing up to be cool. Some of you are, most of you aren't. We're not just there to fool people. Some of you aren't, most of you aren't. I don't know. There is no statistic for this. But I can quite accurately, come up with a logical conclusion that at least one pocket of your society, of your group, is there specifically to do the things that you state that they're not. Special snowflakes. Yes, people want to be special snowflakes. They're, human emotion. Wah, me, mine. That's humans. Alright, they want mine. Everybody has a little bit of mine in them. Anyways.
Non-binary identities outside of hardline, patriarchal, heteronormatively defined male and female go back thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So
you agree with me that thousands and thousands and thousands of years, when human society was either, human life was either, millions of years ago is probably where Homo sapien actually I believe it was. No, that wasn't Nathaniel. Anyways, I'm very, very tired at the moment. But if you're talking about a very, very long time ago, let's just keep it vague. A very, very long time ago, okay, you're stating like the foundations of human life, okay. You're stating that if I have to go back there to say like, oh yeah, like men are men and women are women, maybe that's the correct way to go. Maybe that's what nature's dictating to us. Maybe nature knows better. Maybe we are those things. Maybe nature has made us. Okay, and I'm not going to change your language. Okay, and you threw in a whole bunch of words spaghetti. This patriarchal, heteronormative. What? This is just science. There's no gender to science. Science is just the study of stating, hey, this is happening, or this is a thing. Here's said results to conclusion. The science is in. You're wrong. I'm sorry.
For you to sit there and act like this is some brand new fucking concept, and to consistently tell me how it's going to take you so long to figure it out, it's.
But you said that you're not Okay, brand new concept. It's fairly new. It's a fairly new concept. I know this because basically, usually, your concept that you're describing with the language policing off, how to approach somebody about who they are. That's quite new. Language policing, such as political opinion, is something that's quite old. Okay, language and also non-binary shit, that's fairly new still. The thing is that if the science is in to prove you wrong, you are incorrect. I'm sorry that that's too patriarchal and heteronormative for you, but that's just the way that things are, and you should get used to it. And you stated that we shouldn't comment to you about saying like, oh yeah, this will take you a while to understand all this. Okay, even you are saying that you don't understand all of this. Well, in particular, your own identity. I think we're right on that one. Maybe you should listen to us.
Inappropriate, it's disrespectful, and it's ignorant, so fucking.
Okay, it's not ignorant, it's factual, it's not disrespectful, it's respectful, and there's so many right ways, because we're telling you how things work. We're taking our time to come up to you, and time is money. Okay, time is money. If we take the time off to talk to you and say, maybe this is a mental health thing, maybe you should get checked out, you should be very bloody thankful that we're doing that we're actually taking our own time. Me sitting here making this video, I'm taking my time to help you with understanding that you have a problem. Anyways.
Stop. Okay. What else did I want to say here? I guess that's it, honestly. Just stop. Like, none of this is preferred, none of this is opinion, it's facts. These are facts.
No, they're actually your opinion. I just told you what the facts are. Oh my god. This person's going to give me a headache. Okay. It's a fact that it's your opinion. Okay, we'll leave it as that.
Facts that you need to get used to because you share a space with us, you live in the same world as us, we're getting massacred and killed, we're in a state of...
What? We're getting massacred and killed? We're getting massacred. honey, man, fuck. I hate to break this to you, but I rarely do you hear transgender, executions unless it's in the fucking Middle East. You've got it very good in America, wherever you're from. I don't know if you're from Canada, I would probably presume that you're from Canada because you possess this bullshit. and they've been infantilized by the system so much, or maybe it's some of Obama's regime. I mean, you know, hashtag Trump 2017. You know, hope he fixes you. God bless the Trumpu. Although I'm an atheist and everything, but you know, my God, my God.
See, the least you could fucking do is not misgender me. How's that sound?
No, okay. You also mentioned that you shared this. Look at that fucking smoke grin. You can screenshot that if you like. You mentioned that you know, we share a space with you. Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true. But you share a space with us. We are the majority. Us normal people are in the majority. The people that don't think like this, that are ill-facted, and who don't have mental problems, are in the normal. That's something called normal. There's nothing obscure. It's a mental problem that you have. You need to learn how to conquer this. It's up to you to do that. You have to conform to nature. Because if you don't, you're going to find yourself in a pretty bad spot. Very, very bad spot.
Whatever. So, I just wanted to put that out there. By all means, if you're non-binary, share this with somebody who needs to wake the fuck up and learn how to respectfully deal with you.
Or I can comment on this video and show people how to deal with this behavior and deal with this mindset. Maybe I can share this video to help you even. Maybe I can share this video to help others like you. So, yeah, maybe I will send it to a transgender or transgender or some quote-unquote non-binary person. Yeah, I probably would, yeah.
And, you know, talk to you and treat you if they want to be in your life. Because we're not negotiating. This is not a negotiation. You don't have anything to stand on.
Yeah, I do have something to stand on. I just stood on those. So this is up for negotiation, and the negotiation is that you would have to conform to what people are naturally going to do, because there's no stopping in what people are going to naturally do. Natural natural human rights, natural rights. We have natural rights in there because of what people are going to be doing, and what people are capable of, and what most people, in fact, do. So, and also, to natural morality as well. And natural morality also stems from us as a free-thinking, well, species, what we should be, because humans are free thinkers, we are innovators, other than the other species. Anyways.
This is what you're going to abide by if you're going to be in our lives, and that's all there is to it. So, anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. My non-binary folks, I love you. I hope that you're having a fantastic time. I hope you have a good Halloween. If you choose not to go out and you want to stay in, thank you for taking care of yourself. This is not something that you're obligated to deal with.
Okay, and you know, yet again, he restricts his audience. Okay, and you know, whether he's doing that on purpose or not is, what I mean by that is, like, yes, he's doing this on purpose by our definition, that we see that he is pushing people away. He may not even see this. He may think that, you know, next minute, you know, people watch this video and goes, "Oh, watch your video, I think that you're really intelligent, I'm so sorry for doing this." No, it's not going to be that way. You're going to come up to some person who's probably watched like 2 or 3 YouTube videos in their life and said, "Who the fuck are you, dude?" And you're going to go, "Dude, respect my gender," and they're going to look at you funny and walk away. And then you're going to be like, "Oh, why don't people talk to me?" It's because of videos, well, it's because of your mentality. You need help. Over and out. Goodbye.